Silence. Guys, it's not every day that we do a black belt promotion. It's actually once in a while. This black belt is very special. This guy has been with us for many years. Not only that, he has his own school. So teaching from a distance, it's hard. You know, it requires a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. John Connor, congratulations. Guys, John is not only making a black belt, he's also an instructor. Being a black belt don't qualify you to teach right away. He's been working with us many years, and he also qualified. He has all the instructor's course and all that. That's what really qualifies you to teach, okay? I will let John say a few words.
Okay, guys, I thought about it. I really don't know what to say. It's been a long and interesting journey. I wouldn't take anything for it. First of all, before I forget, couldn't do anything without Leo. Everywhere I go, you go to the world, you talk to all the legends. Everybody says Leo is the best. Leo is the best. So you guys got to know how proud I am to be associated with Leo. You guys got to know how lucky you are to learn from a great world champion. Not everyone has that. As I was thinking about what I wanted to say, I thought about all the beefs I had in the early days, and I decided to, not here, but with other guys, all the guys that hate me and all the wars we had, and I decided this is the time to let all that go. Talk about all of that, but I want to thank my father and mother. Sorry, I wanted my dad to see this. Anyway, he's looking down from somewhere. So, what I wanted to say to you guys was that it's important when you come to the mat, in my opinion, to always have some discipline. You guys are lucky because you have a disciplined instructor. We have a curriculum. It's not so everywhere. Some places, if you end up training somewhere else, you have to make your own discipline. You have to make your own path. You have to make your own way. And so what I found in jiu-jitsu is that if you come to the mat with an intention not just to beat a guy, which is like what I learned in the early days, but you have the humility to try moves that maybe get you smashed. Okay, if you just always, I was a top guy in the beginning. I started in judo as a kid. I didn't want to go on the bottom. I didn't want to play guard, and there were advanced purple belts there, and I couldn't even get in guard. But I just had to take chances over time and begin to play all these other positions. But if you come to my academy, what you will find is that I deliberately put everyone in all the positions as much as possible, and we have limited sparring rounds almost at every practice. So you will at some point attempt to take down, at some point you will pull guard, at some point you will play top in some variation, at some point you will develop your turtle game. So I try to develop my students in a way that you don't get all these big gaps in your game because, like it says in Miyamoto Musashi's book, The Book of Five Rings, a small warp in the beginning makes a big warp in the end, okay? So try to have the discipline, have the humility to work on those things that maybe get you tapped, okay? So one thing I always say to my students is you're going to get worse before you get better. You take a big, strong guy who comes off the street, he's untrained, He's wild. You don't know what that guy's going to do. He may give a blue belt or purple belt even higher. He might give that guy a little bit of a hard time because he's so wild, you don't know what to do with that guy. But when that guy begins to have the discipline and begins to try the techniques, he gets worse. He gets smashed. If the techniques don't work, you have to make them work. You have to understand how they work. Okay, so I wouldn't try to make this short. I'm not going to make this long. But the way I see it, that discipline leads to concentration. And then when you truly come into concentration, you can't help but concentrate when there's another person trying to maul you. So when you come into concentration, eventually you develop insight. You begin to learn the techniques, not just from a book, but that's important. I think study is the most underestimated thing in jiu-jitsu in terms of improvement. Okay? But once you have the discipline to come with a plan, to organize your jiu-jitsu, you come to the mat with intentions to get better, even if it's only 1% a day, to try something that's maybe not going to be your best position. In time, you get more well-rounded, and with that concentration in that discipline comes the concentration. With that concentration comes the insight, and then ultimately, I think what makes you better is the wisdom you develop from the years on the mat. That's the experience. It's not theory. It's not something someone told you. It's yours because you learned it firsthand from experience. And that, more than anything, is what my journey's been about. And I just want to thank Jacare. I'm sorry he couldn't be here today. I understand he's back in Brazil. He told me a year ago that I was going to get my black belt. And it just takes me time to get around to it. I moved my academy. I'm in a much bigger space now, almost as big as this. And I just started on a small mat in the YMCA, I think around 8 years ago. But it's been a great journey. And again, I couldn't have done it without Leo and Ursula and Jacare and all the staff here. And I just want to thank everyone so much. This is one of the most proud moments of my life. Thank you so much.
Guys, since our black belts decided to train this morning and take a break, John is going to be thrown by our brown belts can join here. We're going to get to throw John. No crazy throws, no throwing the head today for celebration. Okay?
And remember, I have a 5-hour drive.
Relax. We have 5 hours drive, check this. All right.